Welcome back to WiscoTrains Railfanning, and today we are at the Ken Wise Rochelle Railroad Park in Rochelle, Illinois. The park is situated just east of where the Union Pacific's double-track Geneva subdivision crosses over the Burlington Northern Santa Fe's double-track Aurora subdivision. The park has elevated viewing areas and a covered pavilion in which to watch approximately 90 trains a day pass by. When we first arrived, all we heard was the sound of quiet birds chirping, and all we saw were empty tracks. But that was not for long. About 15 minutes later, we had our first train, a westbound Union Pacific intermodal. On the point of this train were UP 7262 and AC 4400 CWM, Union Pacific 9796, a Dash 9, and Union Pacific 5657, a AC 44 CW CTE. On the rear of the intermodal train were two worn AC 44 CW CTE locomotives. Union Pacific 5606 and Union Pacific 5584 are examples of AC 4400 locomotives built with controlled traffic effort software, thus the CTE designation. From what I understand, the software allows the AC 4400 locomotives to play well with their DC counterparts, the Dash 9. Unfortunately, we picked a windy and drab spring day to visit the nation's original railroad park, but the weather did not stop the parade of trains or our high spirits, thanks to the busy railroads. After waiting another 15 minutes, an eastbound manifest approached the diamonds at slow speed. 3 Union Pacific EMDs and 1 Union Pacific GE were in the lead. I would say in the Fox Valley, a 4-unit lash-up in the lead is not unusual, but it definitely is out of the norm. Down there it seemed that was the norm, and I'm not sure if it's due to power moves or due to power needs of the trains or some other reason. If anyone knows, let me know down in the comments. 3 SD70 ACEs, numbers 8683, 8425, and 8384, and an AC45C CTE, number 7989, were on point. Some features of the Rochelle Railroad Park I have yet to mention is the fact that there are clean, heated restrooms available year-round and a small gift shop. The gift shop was not open the day we visited due to the fact it was a Monday. Next, it was the Burlington Northern Santa Fe's turn across the diamond with BNSF 3997 and ET 44C4 and BNSF 5379, a C44-9W leading an eastbound intermodal with a friendly crew to boot. This was not the first time I've railfanned the Aurora subdivision. I have visited the La Crosse, Wisconsin BNSF yard, where the subdivision meets the Canadian Pacific and the BNSF's St. Croix sub. The Aurora subdivision originates back to before the Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy Railroad and was part of the Burlington Northern Railway before the 1995 BNSF merger. Before the days of Amtrak, the Empire Builder used to hit the diamonds here in Rochelle. Just west of the railroad park on the Union Pacific's Geneva sub is the Global 3 Intermodal Yard. I've heard the yard was idled in 2019, but I saw switchers working the yard just to the north and the intermodal containers still sitting in Global 3, making me wonder if it is used in some limited work. It's also possible the yard to the north of Global 3 is utilized in other ways. Next up was an intermodal train crawling west being led by Union Pacific 7704, another AC-45C CTE. Though I did not catch it, and I wish I had, this crew was very friendly, with the conductor even stepping out on the front of the locomotive to wave at my son. The train ground to a halt, and after 4 trains in just about 1 hour, we decided it was time to head for lunch. Our adventure picked back up after lunch at Cairn Road on the east side of town. UP 6309, a former Southern Pacific AC-44 CW, was seen leading an eastbound auto rack train. The real treat on this train were the mid-train DPUs meeting some westbound light locomotives. UP 8179 and an ES 44 AC-H and a still in Southern Pacific paint UP 6379 and AC 4400 CW were the DPUs, and the light power was a trio of SD70Ms number 5073, 5023, and 5200, respectively. More on 5073 and 5023 later. Then, while trying to capture some resting switching power on the Burlington-Santa Fe at Steam Plant Road, we heard the horns of an approaching westbound intermodal. BNSF 8275, BNSF 6028, and BNSF 8121, all variations of the ES44 platform, were doing the honors on today's train. As a side note, for my own edification, because on my model railroad, my intermodal trains will be handed off at the railroad in Santa Fe in addition to the CM. Can anyone tell me if trailer on flat cars is a feature BNSF embraces? The BNSF seems to be where I see the most TOFC than anywhere else. Let me know in the comments below if you know. We returned to the railroad park to find a GP 39-3 with a friendly crew shoving the BN caboose east. Two Whitcomb locomotives live in the park, one being standard gauge and the other a 3-foot narrow gauge loco. Whitcomb used to produce their locomotives in Rochelle. The narrow gauge locomotive can be climbed on by both young and old, and I found it interesting to see how I fit in the small cab. The Whitcomb Company pioneered both gasoline electric locomotives and electric mining locomotives. In 1928, the Baldwin Locomotive Works took controlling interest in Whitcomb. The last locomotive built in Rochelle was in 1952 for the United States Navy. We then got to see a westbound BNSF manifest train with an executive locomotive to boot. BNSF 4991, a Dash 9, BNSF 9678, a beautiful SD70 Mac, and BNSF 6804, an ES44C4 lead with another great crew giving us a few blasts on the horn. Next we saw 5073 and 5023, two of the SD70Ms we had seen at Karen Road earlier, leading a short train east. Next was the last UP train of the day, a loaded eastbound coal train. UP 2548 and ES44AC-H and UP 7356 and AC45C CTE were leading this train of WEPX and WPSX cars, most likely headed to the homeland of Wisconsin, as they're both owned by Wisconsin power companies. CSX 777 and ES44AC-H, Union Pacific 5775 and AC44CWCTE, and Union Pacific 7700 and AC45CCTE were working as mid-train DPUs. CSX T777, apparently God's locomotive, was the only foreign power we saw that day. Another thing I noted was the use of multiple locomotives as DPUs on the Union Pacific and the BNSF. I rarely see that on the CN. UP 8633 and SD70 ACE was locomotive number 6 on this coal drag. The last train of the day we caught was just west of the Diamonds at Lincoln Avenue. BNSF 7850 was in the lead, knocking down the green with an eastbound manifest. 7850 is a DC version of the ES44 platform. Three locomotives served as the mid-train DPU: BNSF 3855 and ET44C4, BNSF 8431, an SD70 ACE, and BNSF 6558 and ES44C4. Ultimately, the 3-hour trip to Rochelle from the Fox Valley in Wisconsin was worth it. We consistently had trains to watch in the area, and it was cool to see some double-track main lines in action. If you want to see more of my railfanning content, check the in-screen links for Railfanning playlist. For further adventures in railroading, both model and real, please subscribe and check out other videos on my channel. Comment if you have questions or answers to my questions, and please like. It helps the channel grow. Have a great day.